he's a team guy. Like, he's a good teammate. He says and does all the right things. Like, he's a great pass blocker. But I just think you can get better production from somebody else than what you're getting from Zeke at this stage in his career. But like I said, he's a good team guy. He says and does all the right things. So he's a likable guy. He's a good teammate. So yeah,
That's
I
what you
mean,
want
if
to hear
money's
about your
not,
$20 million running back. He's likable.
but that that's what I'm saying. His production just doesn't meet the salary. But if we're not talking money, I mean, sure, he can be my third running back. You know what I'm saying? He can go in on passing situations and pick up a block. Like, but he's just not giving you what other backs, younger backs, can get you out of the backfield, man.
Rev, fight for
I
your
will
boy,
say
man.
that.
Fight for your boy.
I think he's the best pass blocking running back in the league still. I
There
will
you go,
say
Tweet.
that. But
There you go.
$20 million a year for it.
That's why you pay him $20 million a year, Tweet, because you want him to protect your quarterback. So no, I think Coach, and I do more teasing Coach than I do anything, Tweet, and you know that. Like, if Coach gets on one of them things, you want to see that emotion come out. So I've been aggravating about that. I'm a big Z guy, so I kind of look outside of, your 2 yard per carry, and kind of look at the other things that he brings to the table. Yeah, if money wasn't an issue, I would definitely want him on the team. I actually was listening to the what is that, the 105 radio show with Brian Broaddus.
Right.
It's basically the Cowboy show, and Brian Broaddus seems to believe, and usually he has some great intel, but he seems to think that they are not going to lowball Zeke at all. They're going to let him go. Like, they're not even going to offer him anything because they don't want to hurt his feelings or, disrespect him, I guess, because, like DeMarcus Lawrence, they lowballed him. Some other players in the past, they lowballed them, and they just look at this situation with Zeke and just feel like the best case thing to do with him, just as a player, is just to release him. But I don't know, man. I'm still got a little bit of hopes because I'm thinking that Zeke is a lot more of a team player than we realize. Like, I'm really thinking maybe Zeke might just show everybody that he's wanting to split that piece of the pie and throw it elsewhere, and he might be willing to play for change. But we'll see. We'll see how it all pays out. There's time. There's no reason to cut Zeke right now. I mean, let the draft hit and ride it out a little bit.
Tweet, what's the dollar amount you'd keep Zeke for?
The dollar amount I'd keep Zeke for?
Yeah, if we were to lowball him against what Rev just said that rumors have, what's a price you'd keep him at?
Bro, that's what I'm saying, though. I don't know that I would at any price, which is exactly what Rev was kind of getting at, because you can get more production off of drafting somebody, a rookie, you know what I'm saying? At a rookie minimum, you know what I'm saying? Compared to what you're going to pay Zeke at a
what's your number,
minimum,
Tweet?
I'm not sure, but
there isn't one. I think he's saying there isn't one.
What's your numbers, Zeke?
I'm not giving him an offer, bro. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there is. If I'm Jerry Jones, I don't think I'm giving a dollar amount. I think that's the right thing to do, is to let him walk, man. Hey Zeke, thanks for everything you've given us, man. It was a great run. Unfortunately, that's it. We're gonna go in another direction. Wish you nothing but the best.
RC in chat says max like $6 million. I have no way am I paying him $6 million, RC. $6 million, you can get all but like 3 running backs in the NFL right now. Like, no. Sorry, Rev, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to throw this out there to you. You basically, let's say for a moment with Pollard, that you decide to let Pollard walk. Does that change your attitude a little bit towards keeping Zeke or not? Because at the end of the day,
you're absolutely not letting Pollard walk this year because he's getting the franchise tag.
Sure. But I've heard Cowboy fans argue Yeah, I've heard Cowboy fans argue about not paying Pollard at all.
I've
Let
seen that
him
a lot
walk.
on Twitter. I've
And
seen it a lot on Twitter.
yeah, I think they're crazy, but if you're not keeping Pollard, what's your plan A? I mean, you're going to go draft a running back high, coach? Well, let's
Could
talk
CD
about
play
that
running back
first.
too? Like CD is the only other weapon we have on offense. So like, is he it? Like you're just gonna play him at running back, wide receiver, tight end, left guard?
Well, I think we have every single reason to franchise Pollard because you're not going to pay him shit even on a franchise tag. You know what I'm saying?
10 million, right?
Here's the thing though, man. Like, are you riding with Malik Davis here, or are you going to take another running back? I mean, bro, I saw flashes of Malik Davis in preseason, man, and I was excited when Zeke was out a couple games late in the season or whatever, and he got to play a little bit. He's solid, man. But I don't know. That's a question the Cowboys got to ask themselves because is Pollard going to be 100% ready to go day one? Like you don't know. So it's a tricky situation. But with that being said, I still don't see a dollar amount that I'm willing to pay Zeke this year, man. Like I'm willing to take the production out of somebody else.
So tell me what you think of this
'Cause
play tweet. I put this out there on Twitter earlier. I went on a rampage of bashing Cowboys fans in this one Twitter thread. If you're curious, go check out Twitter and see how many people I just ridiculed for their terrible opinions. But I put out there the idea that you let Zeke go, you keep Malik Davis, you franchise Pollard, you draft a running back, and you bring in a veteran minimum running back to compete with those four going into training camp. A veteran minimum running back is like 98% of the running backs out there that are going to be free agents. They're going to be minimum vet minimum guys, right? So it's not that you're going to get a great one, but you can get a guy that can come in and block on third downs for you, right? You can find one of those. Maybe not as good as Zeke, but you can find a guy that can pass protect with that vet. So then you draft a guy mid rounds, definitely not Bijan in the first round. But like in mid rounds,
Right.
you get a guy that can compete, hopefully second half of the year type of thing, like a Pacheco that can come in and be young, hungry, and run hard towards the second half of the year once he learns how to play the game, right? At that level. Get a veteran minimum to fill in till then. You have Pollard there, you have Davis there. I don't know if you carry all four, but maybe you do. Maybe you do in that situation. But vet minimum to kind of fill the hole. And then you have Davis. If Davis looks in the preseason like he can play, let the vet go. If he doesn't, keep the vet. Maybe you let Malik Davis go. I don't know. But that's the plan I kind of put out there that I thought would work. What do you think, Tweet?
So who's out there? I don't even know who are free
Sure,
agent
let me look
running
it up.
back.
Let me look it up.
I'm just curious.
2023 NFL free agent RBs. I bet Pollard's the number one ranked one. Oh, no, Saquon
Yeah, for
Barkley
sure,
is.
but-
I apologize.
Yeah, well, no, we're not going to get Saquon.
All right, so I'll read straight from the top of this ranking here. This is the Spot Track estimator of who's going to get paid the most, right? So if I scroll down to less than $1 million, let's just say less than $1 million. Devin Singletary, Damian Harris, Jermichael Hasty, Alexander Madison, Travion Williams, Jarrett Patterson, Justice Hill, Benny Snell. Those type of guys are the ones I'm reading. If you want to go up to like $2 million, now you're talking Dante Foreman, Mike Boone, Boston Scott, P. Ryan, Ronald Jones, Miles Sanders. They're saying Miles Sanders estimated $1.3 million.
He's going to get paid.
I don't know that he'll get paid that much.
No,
Barkley
running
will
back,
probably
fine,
sign a
fine.
nice deal. The top ones they have on here are Barkley, Kareem Hunt, Rashad Penny. Those are the only three they have making more than $5 million, or estimated to make more than $5 million a year. Jamal Williams is next, and he's at 3. So if we're talking vet minimum, you're down here with the Damian Harris, Jermichael Hasty, Alexander Madison, those type of guys.
See, though, like,
Which one of those guys do you like?
I love Damian Harris because he went to Alabama, and he's also that guy that they brought in on third downs to block and catch the ball. I like him. Devin Singletary played well for Buffalo. I think there's good running backs right there.
Yeah, Singletary is a good option. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's you ask yourself, do you value them guys over paying Zeke a $2 million deal? Because like I said, at least you know
Yes.
what you're getting with Zeke. So I don't know.
What do you think, Rev? What's your plan in the offseason at running back? Knowing that we probably cut Zeke.
That's the thing. I don't mind getting rid of Zeke, but you got to fill. You know what I'm saying? You got to fill. So I think the biggest question thing is how much is Mike McCarthy going to switch this thing to West Coast? So if you're going West Coast, then maybe you're looking for a little bit of a different type of back. You know, so you know that's kind of where I'm thinking. I've heard, you know, the plan is 20 to 30% of change, and they're trying not to throw the word change out there because they're going to still use the same terminology. But the idea is, you know, what is the role of a running back, and what is Mike McCarthy's belief of a running back? Because in the West Coast offense, you know, how important is that running back to the team? Now, obviously, we've all seen Pollard come in and he can carry the load. He can catch the heck out of the ball. He's definitely a playmaker. His pass blocking skills are actually not the greatest at all. I would say average at best. He is I would say he is a liability, and the biggest thing is if you're going to have him in there, it shouldn't be in there for pass blocking. So you got to have a plan there. I mean, does that mean you want to bring in a fullback? I'm not fully sure, but whatever guys are on the field, you want to utilize them to, you know, the most that you can. You don't want them just to be a blocking, you know, back. You know, I loved what our guest speaker last week, Mike Crum, he said on Twitter, he goes, I'm not paying, you know, a running back first to be a blocking, you know, back. Like I'm paying him to run the ball. So, you know, priority is in order. But I just want to make sure we have a plan. I don't mind getting rid of Zeke, but you know where my heart is, guys. That's, you know, as a Cowboy fan, I'm rewatching, you know, 2016 tape when we're running the ball right up the gut against Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm just watching how fast Zeke is running down the middle, you know, and knifing through. You know, it's like, what would Zeke look like if that Joker dropped, you know, 20, 30 pounds? You know, could we come back to the glory days? His years are done. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being hopeful right here. At the end of the day, I think our line, if there's a positive about our offense, you know, our offensive line blocks pretty well. So I think maybe a more zone blocking scheme coming in brings a little bit more of athleticism. So you want your running backs to have one cut, you know, and get downhill. So that kind of takes Zeke. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You were just saying the O line, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, can you imagine if Travis Frederick never got the Guillain-Barré syndrome? Yeah, that was a hell of a draft class for that O line. Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. Well, not one class, but you know, we were building our O line through the draft, and to pick all three of them, potential Hall of Famers, obviously. Frederick's probably not going to get there now, but it's pretty crazy, man, how Will McClay has done through the draft. You know, Zeke, you know.
Weren't we just talking last year? Weren't we just talking last year about getting rid of, you know, Tyler Biadasz? It seemed like just a year ago we were kind of going, this guy is not it, and he comes in and man, he has a fantastic year. Balls out. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like he looks like a keeper at this moment, but
that's all right.
You know, we still need depth.
Before we even met you, Rev, I was telling Coach how terrible Terrence Steele was and how that and he needs a team, and like he was in the line, but he got hurt. So those just show you how much we really know.
A little breaking up there, but yeah, I think I was getting the point you were putting down that we develop O linemen pretty well.
Yeah.
Do you think Josh Ball is the next in line to get developed to take a huge leap?
Please, no. I'm so done. Oh gosh.
With all those hits, though, man, you gotta be able to take the one L. I'm sorry, that's
just got to bring the law of averages, bringing it back down. I get you. I'm following you. But that kind of brings us to the point, Rev, that I kind of wanted to talk about too, and we'll get to the Super Bowl and we'll talk about all that here in a little bit. But talking about our O-line, I mean, there's some turnover coming our way with that. Speaking of Biotish, this is the last year on his deal. McGovern's gone. Zach's getting old. Tyron, who knows what we're going to do with Tyron? I mean, most people have an assumption that we're going to let him go, but what do you do then at swing tackle? You bring Jason Peters back. You know, there's a lot of turnover coming to a group. The last group on the field you want turnover on. You got a plan for that, Rev?
Well, you gotta continue to draft O line, but I think the big thing is Tyron Smith's contract basically puts us in a situation to keep him. You know, we're past the cap hits. I believe we've kind of re-signed him enough to where those cap hits were there, but now we're kind of at a point now where you want to hang on to him. I don't know what you think about it, Coach, but the thought is Tyron Smith maybe becomes our swing tackle now. Terrence Steele, depending on what his contract looks like, which I don't know what it is at this moment off the top of my head, Coach, but Tyron Smith had a very good year and was actually a fantastic run blocker. And so, not saying he's better than Tyron Smith, but at the end of the day, I think you keep your tackles and you got to draft another center, you know, to kind of put pressure on Tyler because you don't really know what to do. I think the biggest thing coming in this year, this offseason, and we can maybe touch on this for a second, but I just want to put this little seed in our head, you know, to think about is can we for once, you know, try to pay our guys earlier rather than, you know, waiting till the last minute, you know, to sign these guys. And then next thing you know, you're signing them to huge contracts.
Well, we can't, right? Because we're paying Ezekiel Elliott $20 million a year.
But we're cutting him. Can we all agree we're cutting him now, though?
But I'm saying you got that's why we are where we are, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm still a firm believer that we got some money. You know, there when we got rid of Amari Cooper and then trying to sign guys during this year, we just didn't sign them. So, you know, I'm just kind of thinking, how do we get ahead of the ball game? Do you sign Tyler Biotish to a friendly deal right now? You know, what if we would have signed Dalton Schultz 2 years ago when we knew he could actually play? You know, do you get ahead of the game?
I want to see more Ferguson, man, to be honest with you. Like,
I'm with you.
Ferguson's probably the reason I'm all right with letting Schultz walk, bro. Even though he's probably Dak's freaking best buddy right now, like as far as Dak throws it to him. You know what I'm saying? Him and Schultz got a good chemistry, but I think Ferguson's a way better player.
I'm with you.
And Schultz gives you nothing in the run blocking game, bro.
Do you feel what I'm saying, though? Yeah.
Yeah, if we could have him on like a $5 million a year deal right now. If we signed him 2 years ago prior to his little breakout year, yeah, we could have him for nothing right now. But I think that when you're looking at that, Rev, that Diggs is the one I'd be looking at. So you got that extra year on CD's deal. So we kind of have 2 years, right? That fifth year will be super expensive, so we should sign him. But Diggs is up. Like he's gonna be a franchise tag guy if we don't sign him before the end of next season, right? So I think Diggs is really the one you need to look at right now with signing. He's gonna get a lot of money, and maybe we can trade
Yeah,
for his
you're
brother.
right.
That'll help.
Boy, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Do it.
So, yeah. All I'm saying, okay, so here's an example.
He'll take Zeke straight up.
Jake Ferguson right now, he looks like a mini Travis Kelce, does he not? Like you're watching footage and going,
Kelsey said so.
dang, this Joker, yeah, he runs a little bit like Kelce. So here's the thing. We're getting rid of Schultz. Can we all agree with that together?
Yeah.
Like Schultz is gone.
Yeah.
He gone. So now we let Jake play this year. And if he has a good solid year, which I think with a good quarterback, which we have, he should play pretty well. At the end of the season, why not throw him a bone? Why not go ahead and sign him to a friendly contract? That way, because maybe he's a superstar, but I don't really foresee Jake Ferguson being a superstar. Maybe I'm off there, but at the end of the day, be ahead of signing these guys rather than being late with what we've been doing, with these Cowboys for the past 4 or 5 years. Because even with Dak Prescott, we never signed him to a $40 million contract.
We could have had him
at
what was it, 27 a year we could have had him at?
Yeah, probably 25.
Oh,
probably
man.
25. So it's like, man, sign some of these guys that you're going to keep early. Even Diggs, man, it would have been nice if we could have signed him a little earlier, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying, boys?
He was tough. He would have been tough last summer. Like, he would have demanded best corner in the league money last year.
Yeah, you're right.
11 picks.
No, but I think Diggs has to be the priority this offseason with Zeke and everybody going.
Though, Ref. Get ahead of some of these guys.
RC in the chat says, what do y'all think if Dak has another bad year? You think we end up getting rid of him? So we do have an out if we don't restructure his deal this offseason, which I think it's likely that we do, that we could get out for $40 million next offseason, which is, it sounds like a lot, but if we cut him today, it's $90 million to cut him. So we could actually get out for, and what's his cap hit? Let me tell you what his cap hit is here. $29 million.
36. Oh, next
sorry,
year.
39.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. So we can get out of him for dead even after next season. We could cut him for dead even money, which you're paying $40 million for nothing at that point, right? You're paying him $40 million to not play for you. So what are you doing? If he has another bad year, tweet. Like that's what RC is asking. Do you get rid of him?
No.
Yeah, let's talk about this bad year, tweet.
Quarterbacks don't grow on trees.
There it is. It is.
Listen, man. Dak didn't have his greatest year. Okay, let's be honest. The turnover bug got him a little bit. He threw more picks than usual, but at the end of the day, bro, who are you putting in there? We're not going to have a high draft pick. We're a competitive team. We're not going to be a bottom feeder. We're not going to get top 5 pick unless we're trading for top 5 pick, spending top 5 money. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Dak's your guy. I don't think there's a better option. I think if you want to win, you're going to have to do it with Dak. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, man. The 49. That being said, the 49ers went out and took Brock Purdy in the 7th round, and he was pretty good. So
somebody wins the lottery every week too.
Yeah, I think Dak's your guy for the foreseeable future.
Rev, I know you've kind of beat this one to death already. That's a good question.
Resign him. What's he got?
If you're committed to him, wouldn't you want to re-sign him and kill some of that cap?
Well,
yeah, he's got 2 years left. Tweet, yes.
Yeah, I assume we're already thinking that, bro. Restructure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So this offseason is probably, I'd be absolutely thinking about that. So
yeah, if you're gonna be cutting Zeke and then you're looking to sign Diggs and CeeDee Lamb, I mean, the goal is to go ahead and kill some of that, you know. But back to RC's question real quick, if my quarterback is having a bad year and he goes 12-5, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I guess if that's the low standard for NFL quarterbacks, then I'll ride with that low standard right there.
And won a playoff game.
So that's my
Let's not forget
response.
that he almost single-handedly beat the
Yeah, I
Buccaneers.
don't.
Like he had the best game of his life there.
Bro,
Yeah,
let's
I
let's
guess that don't count, huh?
bro, let's look at the other side of the ball too, bro. Like, so here you are. Our secondary was composed of a whole bunch of nobody, or our corners anyway. At the end of the year, were composed of. You got Jordan Lewis, right? He's got 2 years left, I think. You got Anthony Brown. Is he up this year, or has he
He's
got
up.
one more?
He's up.
So coming off an injury,
Yeah,
he's
he's done.
probably gone. He's
Yep.
probably gone, right?
Jordan Lewis has one more
Jerron,
year.
right. That's what I thought. That's what I figured.
You could save $4 million
Jerron
if you
Bland
cut him, though,
stepped up.
tweet.
Jordan Lewis.
Jordan Lewis, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Coming off
paying
an
Jordan
injury.
Lewis that?
He's probably gone, bro. If I can be 100% honest with you, I feel like our corners played solid with Deron Bland. And, I mean, I know you got a bunch of rookies. You got Kelvin Joseph. You got, well, Nashawn Wright is a 2-year guy. But, I think you save that $4 million and let Jordan Lewis walk.
Yeah, we got 2 years
Yeah.
left of Wright. And he showed flashes in this his second year. You know, he looked kind of awful at times, especially in the preseason. But he showed flashes. That pick he had showed why you draft a guy that with his height. You know, that he climbed the ladder to go get that pick. We trade for Ramsey.
What you
Yeah,
got?
tweet. There you go, man. RC setting you up perfectly. You trading for Ramsey?
Come on.
No, absolutely not.
Why not, man?
I think Jalen Ramsey is the most overrated DB in the NFL. Is he solid? Is he decent? Sure, he's solid. He's decent. Is he the best on the field right now? No. I think he's an arrogant, overrated player that isn't as good as everybody thinks he is. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Rev, you want to trade for Jalen Ramsey?
Absolutely.
Ramsey's getting paid too.
Here's the thing. Hey, here's the thing, boys. We always talk about money, always, and yet the past two teams that I've sat there and paid attention to the past 2 years are teams that sat there and moved money around, and money wasn't an issue. They just went out and got players. So in my mind, hey, if your window's right now, yeah, man, it's just money. Just money, tweet. I tell Coach that all the time. Grows on trees every day.
Ain't my money,
I'm
right?
at a point I don't care anymore. Yeah, it ain't my money. I don't even care anymore. You know what I'm saying? If this guy's gonna come in, and who's your 1 and 2? I mean, between Diggs and Ramsey, who's your 1 and 2? You got Bland in the slot. I don't know, bro. If they're not gonna invest in getting some dogs to go after the quarterback, you might as well cover somebody. So, and I agree with you, actually. I think Ramsey is overrated, but if he's guarding the number 2 guy, I'll take that all day.
There you go, RC. There you go. And just for the record, no, I don't want anything to do with Jalen Ramsey. I don't want his attitude in my locker room. I don't want him on the field. So I don't want any of that.
Hold on. If you trade for him, what's he making right now?
So
Yeah,
assuming that you just take
salary.
base salary, right, which is typically how it goes when somebody's traded, it's 14.5 and 15.5 for the next two seasons.
You can keep that.
So
You just got rid of Zeke, though, Tweak. Come on, man.
You're
and
lying
Jordan
against
Lewis. You can have that.
Oh,
There it is.
man. So, all right, let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit, because you guys know that we would talk about the Cowboys until the sun came up tomorrow, just like we always do on this show. I always try to get us started. So, while Tweet's gone, let's talk about some of our takes from last week, and I'm going to pat myself on the back for a couple of them, right? First of all, the player I thought would make the biggest difference other than Kelsey and Mahomes for the Chiefs was Pacheco, and I feel like he was that for them. Pacheco played a great game, averaged 5 a carry, got the touchdown, got the tough yards too. Tough yards against the number one defense in the league, quote unquote, the number one defense in the league. So I'm pretty happy about that. Their ability to run the ball was huge for keeping Prescott. Why am I calling him Prescott? I wish. Mahomes upright. So we talked about their pass rush, right? And I think what's his face? Now I'm blanking on his name. The Hassan Reddick. I think Hassan Reddick out there, that we mentioned him as one of the impact players, and he did absolutely nothing. Thank you. So he did absolutely nothing, and they scored 38 points on Philly. So I feel like those are two pretty good deciding factors that we decided on. And I think, Rev, are you the one that said Reddick? I feel like you're the one that said Hassan Reddick. But if I'm giving credit to you that you don't deserve, let me know.
No, that was Crumb. That was Crumb.
So
yeah, he went more defensive line players, I think, when we were talking about some players other than quarterbacks that could stand out.
Yeah. Tweet, we last week we were talking about players other than quarterbacks, and we had beat Kelsey to death, like his impact on the game. So we went no quarterbacks and Kelsey, and kind of talked about which players would have the biggest impact on the game. And I said Pacheco for the Chiefs, and I feel like that was an easy pick. It was low-hanging fruit, so I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much. But Pacheco had a good game. The Chiefs' offensive line really had a great game, period, I think. But the run game, I think, helped set that up. Go ahead, Tweet.
You know who I thought had a pretty good game, and this was before even the holding penalty, but I thought Juju played well, man. I don't remember what he finished with, but he had a few big catches there on third downs that kept drives alive for them. Yeah, but I feel like those were important plays where he made most of those catches, man. Third downs, and I feel like he played really well. Obviously, got the holding penalty at the end of the game there too. But
yeah, I was gonna say most important play though.
So he stood out to me a lot during the game. So
yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. Rev, what do you think? You got an individual player you want to pat on the back there?
Yeah, so I was, my thought with the game was let the Eagles control the clock, keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands. And I tell you, for the first half, that's what they did. They did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
So, like, if you take away some of the turnovers or whatever, that first half, the Eagles are winning 24-7. And so they pretty much worked that in. And I remember when we went to halftime, I want to say right before the halftime hit, I said the game was over because I'm watching Mahomes get tackled and get his ankle rolled up on, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, but I guess drugs are a wonderful thing in the NFL, because he came back out in the second half and played ball pretty good. So I'm looking at in the second half, and I even told my son Memphis, I just said, hey, the Chiefs got to play small ball right here. Play small ball. Like, just control the ball. Work the ball down the field, work first downs. No. And that's what they did, man. It was pretty impressive to see that, they listened to my advice when I called up Andy Reid, and, it was pretty neat to see.
Quiet in the locker room when you called, right? Quiet, guys. Rev's on the phone.
Yeah.
Told him you'd buy him a cheeseburger if they made you look good for your kid.
I told him to it. I said double cheeseburger, Andy. Double cheeseburger, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, that's good right there. Yeah, I want to say A.J. Brown was one of my guys. And then a guy for the Chiefs offense, I guess I had him backwards. I had heard the news that Clyde Edwards was coming back, so I was thinking he could sneak in and have a good game. But Picacho, or whatever his name is, man, he was a stud, bro. Breaking tackles, running hard. He was definitely very impressive in that game. I don't know what was more impressive. Was it the defensive rush for both teams, or was it the grass on the field? Because it felt like everybody was on the ground all the time. And I'm just thinking, I
I
know
feel
that the
like
grass is bad out there.
mm-hmm. I
It's a
feel
shame
like
though. I
Casey
really like how their
Yeah.
field, how they roll their field out. They have natural grass in a dome. Like, I know that they said they replaced the grass and the new grass is crap, but I wish more teams would do that, the natural grass in stadiums. So hopefully this doesn't discourage teams from doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
Tweet.
I'm just wondering why why not put on longer pegs?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not
Some people
change the
did.
cleats out? Well, they had to. If they were going to rush or run the ball, they had to.
Tweet, what were you thinking coming into the game, man? I know that we beat it to death on we did an hour and a half basically of talking about that and Zeke. So going into the game, I know you picked the Chiefs, right? If I remember our text messages right.
No, man. I was rooting for the Chiefs, but my head was telling me the
Okay.
Eagles, man. I just felt like on every position except quarterback, the Eagles were better. And it's crazy how it worked out in the end because if you look at the statistics, Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Ramsey. If you're just looking at it on
Yeah.
paper, you know what I mean. But yeah, man, it's just kind of crazy how that game went. The first half, man, you felt like the Eagles were about to take over, going in to possibly go up, 17 points, or 14 points or whatever it was, and Jalen just drops the ball, man, and that was to me that was like the oh shit moment of the game. Uh,
Life.
I feel like, yeah, man, that is what Kansas City's bench and everybody in the stadium needed to exactly. We needed a miracle, and for Jalen to just drop the ball, man, unforced error, just
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. It's crazy how it works out. One play you look back on, that's probably the play that'll haunt Jalen for a little while. You know what I mean? Because you lose by a field goal and you gave him 7. So yeah, going into the game, I thought Philly was going to win. I think I told you touchdown, 6 points, something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, man. And then the second half, Mahomes just comes out and does his thing, and the Eagles' defensive line. I don't know if the field was an issue, but they couldn't get around the edge.
No
I feel
pressure.
like
Yeah.
I feel like the field absolutely benefited the Chiefs because of the way the Eagles play, how they rush the passer with the speed and outside around the edge. They couldn't dip that shoulder quite as low because he can't dig into the ground. That being said, both teams played on the same field, so that shouldn't be an excuse. I just I feel like it was there for Philly, man. It was there for the taking, and Kansas City just kind of went and got it. Um, Then obviously the holding penalty there at the end,
What did you think of that tweet? I know as an Eagle hater, a Cowboy fan, like you were like yes, but like
look,
as a football
look,
fan, what was your opinion of it?
look. You saw the jersey tug, right? It happens. You know what I'm saying? There was a tug by the rule. There's a hold, but man, on the greatest, and that ball was out the hold. I don't think getting to that ball. Mahomes was just trying to get rid of it under duress, kind of.
Yep.
Um,
Uh-oh.
I like the flag, and I hate the. Damn, that's a terrible way to end a Super Bowl. That being said, I know I said this before we went live. As an Eagles hater, when you saw the flag on and knew that was the Eagles
That's it.
raw, like that's it, man. We're running a clock, kicking a field goal. You're just, it's a great feeling when the Eagles lose. But yeah, man, back to the whole, bro. I don't like it. Yes, it's man, it's a Super Bowl. That's the game. Like I don't like the flag there. And bro, for the most part, all game long, the referee let him play. There were calls
Mhm.
both ways that the pass interference on Juju, the series before that didn't get called, and they had to punt on third down, and like there were missed calls all game, and for the most part, you were letting them play, and then that one to go up there and to throw. I feel like you robbed us of what could have been a great finish. So, fuck the Eagles. I don't want them to win, but I like to see Jalen get a shot with the ball and he needed a touchdown, he'll get a field goal. I like rob this of a great finish by throwing that ball. Although a rule, yeah, it's a flag, but swallow your fucking flag, bro. That was my thoughts, bro. What can
Yeah.
I say? And I hate that he's with swallow your flag, man.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I think as a football fan, you wanted to see that last drive to win the Super Bowl by Jalen Hurts. Like as a Cowboys fan, I'm glad they never got the chance, right? But Rev, as a football
Yeah.
fan, it was a penalty. I think we can all agree that it was a penalty. But like Tweet said, they kind of weren't calling it all game. It was a heck of a time to start calling it. So, like, do you want them to just ignore a blatant penalty in crunch time? I don't know. It's a tough call. I go both ways on it. What do you think, Rev?
Yeah, it's tough because it really just depends on what your mentality is. Like if you're just a fan of football and you're kind of just hanging out and watching the game, you just want to see you don't ever want to see a game end on the flag. So just the flag in that moment alone, you hate to see it. At the same time, you know, if you're more than just a fan, like if you're a coach or if you play, if you're a defensive guy, you hate that flag. If you're an offensive guy, you're okay with that flag. Like you feel like that's the right call. So, it's just it all depends. I heard Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin going at it, and Ray Lewis was saying what we were all thinking and feeling. In that moment, you can't throw that flag in that moment at that part of the game. You are robbing everybody of a great moment. At the same time, Michael Irvin is just being very black and white about it. He was saying if it's 2 minutes in the game and it's a flag, then that 2 minutes at the end of the game, it's a flag. And he was just trying to be consistent with it all. I think at the end of the day, it is what it is. For me, it's just not a real big deal. I mean, would you like to see the Super Bowl go to overtime? Would you like to see Jalen Hurts maybe have one last shot? I mean, yeah, I guess so. But at the end of the day, I personally didn't have an issue with it, but I do understand everybody being upset, about it.
I think
Was it the right call? Yeah. 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 I mean, but here's the thing, Tweet. I will say this. If you were the back judge, it wasn't a ticky tack. If you were the back judge, looking at the front, and that's where they show it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. If you see it, the camera angle from the back where the judge is, the back judge, you're seeing that tug pretty good tug. So it just, again, you know how media is. They're going to show that angle that nobody else wants to see. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Tweet. It's ticky tack. You want to let them play. You want to let them go at the end. But I'll give you an example of this. How far do you let them play? Because if you remember the Saints and the Vikings,
game,
and I don't remember what the year that was. I'm watching that. Oh my goodness. And I'm going, just let them play, and you're like,
Are you
no.
Sure? You're talking about the Rams? That was the pass interference, right? That blatant that didn't get called. Wasn't that the Rams?
It was, I believe it was the Saints and the Vikings because Stephon Diggs was there on the Vikings back in the day. And the
Nope, it was
Saints
the Rams. I googled
really
it right
now.
It was the Rams. It was Nicole.
Was it? Yeah, you're right.
Coleman, Nickel Cole. I forget what his name was. It was the guy
Yeah,
with
it
two
was the
last names that
Ram.
whopped him. Yep,
The Rams and who?
the Saints. I knew the Saints
Saints.
for sure, but yeah, it's the Rams.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. I was thinking of the other one.
Roby
I
Coleman.
mean,
That's who it was on the Rams.
but the jersey tug in the Super Bowl absolutely wasn't that. That absolutely should have been a flag, and the
Yeah,
ref was like, "I see nothing."
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like, a foul is a foul, regardless
That
of
was the
how.
extreme.
But man,
If it's
to
not, you're
to end the
saying if it's
whole
not
football
egregious,
season,
that he should have swallowed the flag there. Like,
just think of it this way. Like, the football season, bro, is a whole story, man. From the preseason through the regular season, the
scripted apparently.
postseason, the conference championships, get all the way to the Super Bowl, the most climactic point of the season, for a ref to throw a flag and give it to the Chiefs without really having to earn it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I mean, I get it, bro, but for the season to end on a referee, a referee making a call that some people, if you got a lot of people sitting back and going, man, I don't know, then damn, man, an asterisk
But
on the
let
season.
me
Like,
let me ask you this though, Tweet, because I feel you. 100% I feel you. But let me ask you this: if we rewind, let's say the Eagles win this thing. Let's say that was the play that we repeat. As a Chiefs fan or team, we're going back and saying, where did this happen? And if they don't call that right there, and let's say Jalen goes down and scores, do you kind of go back a little bit and going, man, if the rest would have done their job in that moment, we could have kicked, we could have ran the clock all the way down and kicked a field goal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not really, bro, because like I said, when we first got into this topic, bro, watching Mahomes throw that, I couldn't tell he was trying to get it to anybody rather than get it
Mhm.
away from because bro, that landed a long way from Juju to even have a shot at getting to that ball. Like,
you
even
think
without the
so?
whole thing, like I thought it did. I'll have to go back and rewatch it after, but
Yeah,
I
I
I
thought
thought
that
that he didn't
tug.
even have a shot.
I think that's why the ref threw it, is because I think that tug kept him away from even being close to catching that ball. That's
Well,
just
I don't know, man. The tug
what I
didn't look
thought.
like it impacted him that much. Like
You
I don't
don't
know
think
whether he
so?
was throwing it
Okay.
away or not, or he expected him to get a better release out of that. But like, I don't know that I mean, they were there was contact within 5 yards that slowed him down before the quote unquote tug. Like he absolutely
Oh,
tugged him, was
right.
100% a penalty. Not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that I think that the contact in the first 5 yards is what kept him from getting to the ball, not that tug. Because I don't feel like the tug really affected him at all.
Well, that's kind of what happened. He kind of got jammed to the outside and then tried
Hmm.
to release up the field, and that's when he got the
Right.
tug, like when he tried to get
When he
upfield.
beat the
So
jam.
like he was already trying to get through the press. So like yeah, there was a little tug, but like it's not like he was running by him and that like the dude
Right.
probably didn't even have to hold him. Like it was just in the middle of a jam within the 5 yards, and he got the release and still had a hold of the jersey and like yeah, man, it's
Well, DMD is in the chat. Eagle fan himself. I asked him to weigh in on this. He says, flag was late, kind of wild to end on it. We lost the game earlier. That fumble, punt instead of going for it on 4th and 2. And I agree with that stance that you were already going to give up the field goal that was going to put you behind. You were going to need a Jalen drive with no timeouts and not a lot of time on the clock. Like you were already in trouble at that point. That just sealed it. Like it made it where you didn't even get that shot. Well, as a football fan, I wanted to see Jalen get that shot. I like Jalen. I hate the Eagles, so I'm glad they lost. But I would like to have seen Jalen get that shot as a football fan. But I'll go back to this tweet and let's talk about the week before and the Bengals player pushing Mahomes out of bounds like that. That ended the game. if he doesn't do that, it's a completely different situation, right? They're not in field goal range. If they are, it's a really long field goal, right? So like that one absolutely gave the game to the Chiefs. Are you swallowing that flag too?
No, because it's different when it's a contact out of bounds, man. Like at least there's a boundary there to say what's right and what's wrong. Like he was clearly 3 steps out of bounds. You know what I mean? So like clear that's something everybody can visibly, say, okay, I understand. Like you got to protect your 100, $200 million quarterbacks. Like it was a late hit. Like I understand that one. And on top of that, dude about dislocated his own knee doing it. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that was messed up.
I don't know. That one to me was one of those where you could physically see
that checked the egregious box.
Right. Like it was definitely late. That was a frustration penalty out of bounds. Whereas the Eagles penalty, like I just think it was more of a competitive penalty. Like, is it a hold by rule book? Yeah, but is it like egregious where he's trying to? I don't think he's affecting him getting to his spot as much as it appeared. Like I said, to me, it looked like Mahomes, and there was pressure on that play, and to me, it looked like Mahomes was just trying to get rid of it, man, like and put it somewhere where they're not going to call grounding. You know what I'm saying?
I actually think that the throw being that overthrown, I mean, whatever, quote unquote overthrown, actually helped them get that penalty because it made it look like that tug kept him from getting anywhere near it, right? So like,
right.
that bad throw or trying to throw it away or whatever. I personally, I don't think it was a terrible throw, like you said. I think he expected him to get a free release and he didn't get it, and it was the legal jam that kept him from getting into it, not the hold. But Rev, did you see LeBron James absolutely flip out about not getting the foul call a few weeks back? Absolutely melted down on the court. Did you see that, Rev?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Jason Tatum came in and fouled him, and they didn't give him the call.
So we're us talking about these end game scenarios, right? Lakers ended up losing that game, by the way, in overtime. So I am a huge fan in basketball, and this is my issue with LeBron James, which is a whole nother discussion. He plays for fouls at the end of the game rather than playing to put the ball in the hoop. That's an end game scenario where the refs could have decided that game. It was a tie game, time's running out. He got fouled, didn't make a basket. Refs swallowed their whistle. They go to overtime. Celtics win the game. Are you okay with that then? Either of you weigh in on this because it's the same scenario. Either of you.
You're
a basketball coach, so yeah. Let's start with your opinion on this.
Well, here's the thing: if you actually know basketball, what you'll know is when you watch a replay, was it a foul? Yes or no? Yes.
Looked like he got his forearm hard. Yeah.
Absolutely foul. But here's the other problem: LeBron traveled on his way up to being fouled. So the thing is, was the ref double bad in that moment? Did he see him travel and then maybe not blow his whistle and then said, "Uh-oh, too late," kind of thing? At the end of the day, basketball, football, so different, especially in that spot with how these fouls are. It's completely insane. Now, here is a thought. And I'm probably the wrong one to maybe ask about LeBron because I can't stand LeBron, So I loved every second of him falling on the ground like my 3-year-old and whining like a kid.
Here's my thing, bro. Go ahead, Rev. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
What if? Because I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. We all picked the Eagles. Mike Crum came on the show and he said, "I'm going to take the Chiefs." And I'll tell you why I'm going to take the Chiefs. 1, he said, Patrick Mahomes. He said 2, Andy Reid. What if in that scenario, 3rd and 8, Andy Reid calls that in and out play for the receiver, isolated by himself to where nobody else can see him. And it's just basically the free pass rush. And then he's pretty much exposed right there. So, I mean, I know Andy Reid can't control what the refs do, but at the same time, if you can set up your guy to say he's on an island where he has to cover him by himself, you motion the guy, whatever, and now it's an in and out route to where everybody and their grandma can see you isolated with the cornerback to where he's a desperate guy. I don't know. I mean,
go get held, buddy.
Go get held. You know what I'm saying? Go flop. Go do whatever you're gonna do in that moment. It's at the end of the game. Yeah. You hate to see it. You want to let them play. Basketball, football, for me, it's apples and oranges. That's kind of the way I see it. Basketball, you could call foul almost every time if you wanted to. Football, you can call holding about every single time. The way these guys are covering all the time. So it is what it is, Coach. It is what it is. What's your thoughts, Tweet? What were you going to say?
Well, going back to LeBron, I don't remember, Coach. I know we talked about this a while back, before we were even streaming, but I don't even know if it still holds true today. But the average age of NBA referees was like higher than any other sport. So like the amount of missed calls is understandable. But here's my thought on LeBron. Yeah, you traveled going to the hole. Yeah, you got fouled. It was a foul. But stop being a PU double crooked letter Y and go up and dunk the damn ball, bro. What are you going up and doing a little soft layup, bro? Dunk the ball,
man. He plays
man.
to get fouled instead of playing to put the ball in the hoop.
Bro, you dunk the ball 2 hands. You ain't got to worry about none of that. Like, you go up for a little girly left-handed layup, bro. Dunk the ball, man. And you guys, you ain't got to worry about it. Grow up like a man and dunk the damn ball. You got a wide open lane to the hole, and you're relying on a layup from Jason Tatum come from the other side of the key to block you, to foul you, bro. Like, dunk the ball, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, what if Michael Jordan in that famous shot of his had drove the lane and then cried about a foul when he didn't get it? And he wasn't going to get one back then, you know? He wasn't going to get it. But, no, instead he played to put the ball in the hoop. That's always been my problem with LeBron, is that in those situations he plays to get fouled and relies on the refs. But anyway, get off topic completely. Clearly the three of us are Michael Jordan dudes, not LeBron dudes. Maybe we need to get some younger blood on the show to defend LeBron. Oh man. So
let me just share this.
Go ahead, Ref.
Let me just share this. The mentality thing for me, especially with LeBron, and this is definitely a sports talk we can have. But let me just give you a little bit of insight. He breaks Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-scoring record, which man,
this is going to sound just like Tweet's text to me. I guarantee it. I can hear it already. The Tweet was texting me what you're going to say. Go ahead, Rev.
All right. Big props to you, man. You know what I'm saying? You got your family there. The world's watching. Hey, even me as not the biggest fan of yours, I want to see this moment in history and just kind of say, hey, I was able to watch it. So they all recognize him in that stadium. Standing applause. You know he's going to be on ESPN the next day, blah, blah, blah. The guy turns around and ends up playing another game. I don't know how many games later, but it's within a week, not even maybe within a week. And he lets them know, hey, I want to be recognized during halftime. Like that was his wishes. I want to be recognized at this next game. Well, you just got recognized at that game for doing that. Now you're going to get recognized again at the next game at halftime, where you can put on your suit jacket and stand there and talk. And well, here's the thing. We got our all-star game coming up this weekend, and LeBron has asked, if he can be recognized a third time at halftime for this All-Star game. And I'm thinking, man, homeboy he needs some love or something. Like he needs some.
It's
like
all
he's not getting
about
it.
me.
Like it's almost like it's. I don't know, man. It just doesn't sit well with me. It's like, yeah, that's yours, man. You're on the top. You got it. You
guys
worked
tell
for
me
it.
how great you guys sit around and tell me how great I am. That's what I want. I just want to come in and you guys sit around and tell me how great I am. Actually, you know what? Give me the mic.
Tweet,
I'll just tell you
the
guys
best,
how great
Tweet.
I am. You know what I'm saying?
Tweet, you're the best, man.
You want to come back on Tuesday again, and we'll
best,
tell you
Tweet.
again? Or next Friday. Just come on back next Friday. We'll do it again.
Being shown at the Super Bowl, placing a crown on his head, and everybody's booing him. That was awesome.
Oh,
I was like, dude.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So tweet text me, Rev, during that game. Yeah, I thought you were gonna go this way, but he pretty much said I wasn't watching the game. I was in bed. It was late. So I was in bed and Tweet's texting me and he's telling me, oh, he just broke the record. So I go on Twitter, I watch him do the little ceremony with Kareem and all that stuff. And then Tweet's like, dude, he's pretty much not tried after that. And what, he had like 2 points the rest of the game and they got blown out. Like, don't you want to win the game? You broke the record in?
They lost.
Come on, man.
They lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
But not hustling.
I heard them talking about it.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. That's what you were saying on text, that he wasn't hustling down the court at all. Like he just pretty much like, I broke the record. I don't need to play anymore.
Well, I think I sent you a little like 10-second video where like they stole the ball and ran down court, and LeBron just kind of stood on the other side of the court and watched them on the fast break. I'm like, this dude, he don't even care about winning, man.
It's all about
like they literally need this game. They literally need these games to get into the play-in tournament with like 25 games left or whatever they got. Like you're in like the 9th seed or something. Like you need these games, dude. And like, yeah, I'm gonna break the record. Then I'm gonna take a little time off and hang out with my family and parade me around and let me come out here and tell y'all how good I am, bro. Like he don't care anymore, man. He ain't trying to win championships, and he's playing for stats at this.
You know what?
I sent Coach a text message. Hang on real quick, Rev. I sent Coach a text message. It was a picture of Jordan. It was a picture of Jordan, and when they talked to him, and he's like, they were asking him about the Kareem scoring record, and he said, yeah, I would have broke the record if I cared about stats. He's like, I didn't care about stats, or I wouldn't have went and played baseball. Right. I wouldn't have retired twice. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, right. that kind of goes to show you, like, Jordan didn't even care. Like, imagine if Jordan didn't go take 5 years off, took 3 off to play the game, then retired and unretired again. Like, so
right. Yeah, I was just gonna say my favorite part of that night when he broke the record, Tweet, when I showed up pictures of his son sitting over there with wearing Michael Jordan shoes. Tennis shoes.
Bro, you know who they were sitting with, right?
Phil Knight, yep.
That was Phil Knight, the CEO of Nike, the guy who created it, sitting right there, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how we went from Ezekiel Elliott to the Super Bowl to LeBron. It's a long road on this show sometimes, how we do these things. But we're gonna get into some basketball talk soon, right, Rev?
Oh yeah, basketball draft. Oh yeah, we coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tweet. Speaking of draft, and you just gave me the perfect headway back into football. Thank you, Rev. Tweet. Talking about the draft, I got 2 questions for you. So let's start with one, and it's not Cowboy related. Tell me if you were the Bears right now with that number 1 pick. There's rumors going in every different direction, right? What are you doing?
I'm trading.
Who? Are you trading Fields or are you trading the number 1 pick?
I'm trading the number 1 pick.
So let me ask you this then. Before you weigh in on that. If the Colts come to you for the pick and you say, no, I'm not giving you number 1. But I tell you what I will do. If you'll give me the 4th pick, I'll give you Justin Fields.
Yeah, if I'm Indy, I'd do that absolutely.
If you're Chicago, are you giving Fields up for that number 4 pick?
No.
Keeping Fields.
No, I think Fields, and if you invested in him last year, right? And if you invested in him last year by taking him that high, then you got to give the dude an opportunity to be successful. You determined that was your guy last year when you drafted him, right? Like you got to give the guy tools to be successful, and the dude's got nothing, man. He's got no O line, he's got no defense. You had to trade for Chase Claypool, for him to throw to, and I didn't see Chase Claypool after the trade deadline, bro. I think he caught like 6 passes the rest of the year or some shit like that. Like, if you believe in the guy, I think you trade away that first round pick and stockpile as many draft picks as you can. And if I'm Chicago, I'm finding a way to not, like, if I trade with Indy to come up to number 1, I may take Bijan Robinson high, because you got to give him some help on offense. Give him a running game. Give him a running back.
Ew.
I'm just saying, man. I know how you feel about running backs high, but I'm just saying I gotta show my young quarterback that I believe in him and we want to help you be successful. And the only way to do that is let me get him some weapons, let me get him some help, let me set him up with a chance to be successful. So if I'm Chicago, I'm absolutely looking to get out of this pick and put some weapons around him, man. Give him some help.
So Rev, I'm gonna ask you the same question in a second. I just want to point something out here, because this is against Tweet's morals right here. What he's saying, Tweet is as anti-Ohio State quarterback as you can find, and he's saying to keep the Ohio State quarterback and draft someone else. So just to confirm that that's what you're saying, so I can clip this for later.
Listen, I'm that's, you're asking me if I was the Bears, right? So I'm looking at it really from their point of view. Like, I believe, like, if they've already invested in Justin Fields as being their guy. The dude's had flashes. He's had some good games. He's looked rough, but he hasn't had any help, and he's been doing it all by himself. Am I right? Can we just say that? Like, the dude's doing it by himself.
That cupboard's butt naked.
Bro.
That cupboard is butt naked in Chicago. Nothing there.
So, bro, he's gotta have some kind of talent, man. Like, dude's got legs, dude. Like, yeah, maybe his arm talent isn't as great, but like, you gonna draft the other Ohio State quarterback?
At 1, you can go get Bryce.
Well, yeah. So I don't know, man. If I'm Chicago, I'm sticking with what I got, but I'm stockpiling picks to give him the tools he needs to be successful, because he didn't have that last year, and he was still the one player when you played Chicago you had to think about. I mean, think about the game we played against him, bro. He was fucking us up.
Yeah.
Really, like, we got up on him early, like, smashed him in the mouth early, and then here they came pretty much on Justin Fields' back, bro, to get him back in the game. So, like, the dude's got talent. Like, he's all right.
This is the most loving Ohio State quarterback talk I've ever heard from you, Tweet. I'm a little disappointed in you right now.
It hurts. It hurts my heart. But, man, like, he's shown flashes, and in order to see his full potential, you got to give him some weapons, and that's what I'm doing if I'm Chicago.
So last offseason, I said this to you, that I saw Fields showed signs of being a good quarterback. And here we are a year later, and we're still talking the same, but we kind of have the idea that they had no weapons, and for what he played pretty well. Rev, I'll repeat it for you. Justin Fields.
I got it.
You got it? All right. Go ahead.
Oh, I got it. So I'm going to give props to Tweet here, because if you, I scream this from the top of the mountains. If you know your team, if you know your players, then draft accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know, and I know you hate this, Coach, but I love the thought.
Don't say it.
If you know your quarterback, I'm gonna say it. This is why I'm gonna say it. If you know your quarterback and you know what you want to do, you go and pick up Greg Roman. You draft a high profiled running back, and you just make this thing into a running machine.
Dude, they got $90
you
million.
just say, hey,
Go
we're
sign
in the
Saquon Barkley. That's what I'm doing. Like, I'm not taking one
Yeah.
high.
Well,
You going to take a running back
I'm
coming
just
off the
saying.
knee injuries? I'm not. I'm going to get Bijan
I'm
Robinson.
just saying. Yeah. Here's the thing: you drop back, you grab this running back, and here I'm about to go a different direction here, Coach. So just hang with me just for a moment. But I'm gonna build a running machine. I'm gonna get a coach that wants to run with a quarterback that wants to run, and I'm gonna build a running machine in the high winded city where you don't want to throw the ball. And if that's your plan, that's a great plan. Like, it really is a good plan. And yeah, you don't want to draft a running back high, but you want a high profile running back to go with your quarterback, and then you want to sign in free agency maybe some good receivers. Now, that is Tweet's logic, and I respect Tweet for that. If I'm the Bears and I have that number 1 pick, I'm gonna trade Justin away. I'm getting rid of Justin. I'm gonna get me a quarterback. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm not a believer in Justin. Can he run the ball? Does he show talent? Absolutely. But for me, I think he's been in the league long.
Uh-oh. Man, he was super excited to get this point out, too, and now he froze. It's always on an awkward face, too. It's never like just sitting there smiling or anything.
Am I freezing?
I hear you again. You might be good. I can hear you. Go ahead, talk.
Okay. All right. So I'm not a believer in Justin. So I'm trading Justin. I'm gonna get me another first round pick, and I'm gonna get me some other talent if I can. Do you get rid of him? What do you trade for? Do you give away Justin for a Lamar Jackson? Do you go crazy like that? You got 2 quarterbacks there at the top of the draft. You can have anything you want to do. So it's kind of crazy to think about. I kind of like this. I like this scenario, but I'm getting rid of Justin. I'm going a different direction. I've heard insight, and this is just rumor talk, but I have heard that Justin Fields cannot stand playing in the weather at Chicago. He hates Soldier Field. And if that's true, then you're going to see Justin Fields get traded. If that's true, all that's going to come and make sense.
There's a lot of smoke screens out there right now.
But if you're going to hang tight, I'd roll with what Tweet said. I like what Tweet said. I'm going to make a running machine out of this thing, and kind of go from there. He has the ability to be a triple option guy. That looks like a good scenario for him.
Look what you did with Lamar in Baltimore, man. They've rebuilt that offensive system to cater to Lamar's strengths, and it was successful for a little bit. And that may be what Chicago needs to do with Justin Fields if they don't trade him away. But it's the NFL, man. You never know.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Coach?
I think that I'm a little more on Tweet's side, other than the drafting a running back. I'd never, ever. I was already arguing with RC in the chat that I wouldn't take him at 26. So higher than that, no. I'm probably going to keep Justin Fields. I'm going to trade back if I can. If I can get to 4 with the Colts and get a slew of picks to go along with moving back to 4, that's probably where I'm at. Because you drop to 4, you're probably going to get one of those top prospects, right? Maybe you don't get Will Anderson at that point, but you're still going to get one of those top guys, plus at least a first next year, you would think, right? At least a first, probably more. You try to get as much as you can, especially from a team as desperate as the Colts. And I'm going to take that. I'm going to go with Justin Fields. I'm going to build an offense around him. I always say don't sign running backs to a second contract, but they have so much cap space that they can go get one and it's not going to bother anybody, right? So just to read off the top backs like Saquon Barkley, Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs, those type guys, you could go get one of those. If you don't want Saquon because of the injury, go get Josh Jacobs then, right? Who just had was the best running back in the league this year, basically. So yeah, you can go pay him. What do you want to come here, man? Just come out here and do it. Trade for Nuke, something like that. Go get wide receivers. I'm building around him, like you said. Like I'm gonna put as much talent around him as I can. You need offensive linemen. I'm not gonna go look at the free agent offensive linemen because I don't know. I don't watch the offensive linemen enough to know if these guys are actually good or not. But you could go do that. You go sign offensive linemen. Their defense is horrible, so you draft defense maybe with that early pick. But I think I'm with you, Tweet, that I stick with Justin Fields and try to put talent around him. If the Colts offered me number 4, though, if the Colts offered me number 4, Rev, boy, it's going to be tough for me to turn it down. If I can go Bryce Young at 1 and still maybe get Will Anderson at 4, like that's tough to turn down right there. It's tough to turn down.
Let me ask just an honest question for both of you. Okay. Talent, Justin Fields. We all agree Justin Fields is, man, he might be the most talented quarterback in the league as far as talent goes. Do y'all have really great confidence about his ability to be able to read defenses and go through his progressions and make good throws?
I don't know. I would say that I completely don't know. I don't think that he's been in a situation yet where you could properly judge his ability to do that in the league, right? So I guess the answer is no, I'm not confident at all. What do you think, Tweet?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. He's been running for his life in Chicago, man. He's got no time, got no run game. He's kind of been a sitting duck, man, 3rd and long his whole career. So he's always looking to get out. So yeah, I think it's hard to judge, but no, Rev, to answer your question, I am not confident in his ability to go through reads because I haven't seen him do it enough.
Haven't seen Bryce Young do it either.
You got really?
Not in the league. I mean, Justin Fields tore college football up. So like you're talking Bryce Young did the same, right? So like, but you haven't seen him do it in the league yet.
You cannot put Ohio State's offense as far as reading. Like they don't ever put out good quarterbacks, hardly. But I'm going to tell you something.
All right,
that CJ Stroud.
Hardly. When's the last one?
Yeah.
When's the last one?
Yeah. Well, that's what you guys are rolling with. Y'all are rolling with a quarterback right now, and he's already been in the league for 3 years, I guess. I'm just trying to poke the bear right now, boys.
You want to poke the bear? Say that you're going to take Bijan Robinson at 1. Like I'll just end the stream. I'll be like, we're done. The show's over. We're not having another one. We're talking basketball from now on. We're not taking Bijan Robinson at 1 ever.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying, there's some quarterbacks out there right now that can read the field. And these 2 other prospects that are coming in the league, Stroud and Bryce Young, they both can read defenses. They both can make all the throws. And I don't know, man. I've seen enough from Justin Fields. You can say that his offense has been abysmal, but here's the thing. When you can run the ball for 250 yards a game, you can't tell me that you can't run some play action passes. You can't tell me that you can't, move the ball a little bit because you're going to have 11 people in the box. So you got some one-on-one coverage out there. You should. But, I understand it's hard to say. He hasn't had a good coach. He hasn't had some talent around him. It's still up in there. The guy's super talented, though, definitely.
All right, second question, Tweet. Second question on the draft. We got a few minutes left. Let's talk Cowboys draft. Since we beat up the Bears, so let's talk Cowboys draft now. Are you taking Bijan Robinson at 26 if he's there?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I am. I think I'm looking for probably a receiver.
Who's your dream prospect right there?
Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
What do you think, Ref? Are you taking Bijan Robinson at 26 if he's there?
Here's the thing, boys. I ain't scared. I ain't scared one bit.
No, I tell you what.
I'm
We
hey,
get-
go ahead, Tweak. Go ahead, Tweak. 'Cause
Till we had some
No,
time to think
man.
about it.
It'd be like this. I'd have mixed feelings like this Zeke pick, bro. I wanted Ramsey over Zeke. I don't know if you remember this, Coach.
Absolutely. We both did. Yep.
And my how things have, you know what I'm saying? Like now I can't stand Ramsey, and we ended up with Zeke. But I tell you, man, if the Cowboys took, if Zeke was gone, and Pollard coming off an injury, and we took Bijan was there at 26, and we took him, would I be mad? No, I wouldn't be mad. Would I think? Would I have done that? No, I wouldn't have, because I think we have bigger needs at different situations. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
So you kind of want a wide receiver, then
Sorry.
you're saying. Well, go ahead, Rev.
yeah,
Lay it on us.
my issue is I don't see any receivers in this draft where I'm going. There's a guy that can come in and really help this team like a CeeDee Lamb, did when he first came in the league. Like I don't see anybody. Like maybe if baby Gronk was right there, that would be a dream scenario to have baby Gronk come in. But he'll be gone early. And I'll tell you right now, Bijan Robinson's going to be gone early. He's going to go in the top 20, bro. I'm just telling you. By the time he hits the combine, he goes through all this stuff. People are going to be drooling over him. I think we have to draft a running back in this draft. I think that is important. Where you draft him, do you draft him in the second, third, fourth? It seems like the fourth round has been our money spot. But if they took Bijan Robinson at 26, as long as we used him, you know what I'm saying, and maybe use Pollard more as a receiver, and kind of used him the proper way, I would be. Yeah, I would be okay with that. I really would be okay with that, because then you can move Pollard to a different role and allow him to be more of a slot receiver, those types of things. And then you got you a new running back that has fresh legs, and we got a running team. So I know you hate that, Coach. I get it, but I'm not totally opposed of it. I wanted Zeke at 4 when we were drafting him, because I was drooling all over the place. But this isn't drafting him a running back at 4. We're not at 4. We're at 26. So, you know what I'm saying? Here's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want us to drop out of our first round pick. And that's probably the biggest fear that I have coming into this draft, because they do it every single year. They have a small group of guys that they have as first round picks. And then when it drops to their second round players, they're willing to drop out of there. And I hate that, because you lose your fifth year option on your player. So a dream scenario for me, I like that kid out of Penn State, Porter Jr. He's a cornerback. I like his size. I like his play style. I think he fits what Dan Quinn's doing on our team. I believe he could come in and solidify that outside spot. I think he fills a need, and I think we could really go running. Personally, if you were to say a draft scenario, give me that guy, and then let's go sign old Ron Payne from the Commanders. This offseason, let's sign that joker and get a little monster in the middle, and roll tide, man. Let's roll with this thing. So I'm not afraid of Bijan Robinson, but here's the thing: give me the best player on the board. I don't care who it is. I don't care what position. I think you can count on
that. Will McClay really has led us towards that.
Yep. So here's the thing: if Will's good with it, I'm good with
it. In Will we trust. So I am not taking. I'm not taking Bijan Robinson there. And
can I just ask? Can I just ask real quick? How many of you guys? Which one of you guys groaned last year when they said Tyler Smith? They're like, "Oh, this was the most penalized kid." Blah 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 blah.
Everyone.
It's like, dude, and you couldn't have asked for a better rookie to step up and play multiple positions on an offensive line and really play out of this world. as a rookie and pretty much went under the
He
radar.
saved
Nobody
our
even thinks
season,
about him.
Tweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He
so
saved our season, Tweet.
and
Saved it.
yeah, and so whatever Will McClay wants to do, I'm good with, bro. Like at this point, I've got faith. Like
In Will we trust.
Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, I'm like, man, I don't like taking a guy who sat out a whole season because of COVID, blah 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 blah.
An
And here we
off-ball
are taking
linebacker is
it.
what we thought he was.
I'm like, man, I'm glad you took Micah. Yeah, I was like,
Glad you don't listen to us idiots at home. Yeah.
No, I wasn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
What are we doing? What are we
at
doing?
At this point, yo, I'm cheering whoever you take, bro. If you take some bum kicker, man, I understand why. He's gonna go like 100 for 100, not miss a kick his whole career. So
I tell you what,
I'll be
TJ
mad
Watt
about
would
that,
look real good in blue and silver right now.
yeah, and Will I trust? That's the one miss, man. That's the one miss. Taking Taco over TJ. But I guess what they were saying is like they didn't think TJ fit what we were trying to do on
As a
defense
4-3 defensive end. They didn't see him as a 4-3 defensive end.
Yeah, so we that's why we went Taco. So I
Taco couldn't play a 4-3 defensive end either, so it all evened out in the long run.
maybe Will McClay learned from his mistakes and like I said, man, and Will I trust, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know that any team has drafted better than we have in a long time. Like,
right. Well, so let me just put this out there: 2 teams in the Super Bowl, 2 starting running backs. You guys know we talked about when Pacheco was taken in the draft, right? And he was a rookie.
No. When was he taken?
7th round. 7th round rookie comes in, wins the
Wow.
Super Bowl. All right, so, lucky,
Wow.
obviously. I mean, there's some luck involved with that. You guys know when Miles Sanders was drafted?
Well, Patrick Mahomes, your quarterback. I mean, I guess
Fair enough. That's why I'm going the other way with it. So we just the other team, right?
Okay.
Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is a 2nd round draft pick, mid-2nd round draft pick. We can go a step further, and you can talk CMC, right? CMC was a 1st round draft pick. All right, so and he's on his 2nd team though. So take that for what it's worth. The other running back in the championship games, Joe Mixon, another 2nd round draft pick. All right, so you got 2 2nd round draft picks, 1 7th round draft pick, and a 1st on a 2nd team, which I think that's worth mentioning.
so can we just say Joe Mixon would have been a 1st round pick if they didn't show him punching a girl at a damn restaurant or something? So
he was a stud, but at the same time, like he went in the 2nd round. They didn't take a running back in the 1st, and they took one in the 2nd. So yes, whatever reason it is that he fell, is they didn't take a running back in the 1st, they took it in the 2nd. So 1 1st round running back in the Super Bowl, and he's on his 2nd team. It is all I'm gonna say, and why I wouldn't draft one in the 1st round. 26 is late though, Ref. As you were saying, 26 is later in the 1st. If we took Bijan there, I wouldn't be that upset. Pick. Right, and you get a 5th year option.
It's a 2nd round pick.
So I wouldn't be that upset if we took him.
Here's the thing. Like the pre-combine, workouts of all these kids, dude, once they see the speed and the caliber talent of these guys, I'm telling you right now,
he's
when
not going to be there
DJ Robinson comes in there, dude, he's not like we're wasting our time. Mel Kiper always throws these guys out there, and now he hit it last year, but he always throws these guys out there and then they run in the combine. Dude, this dude, I'm telling you right now, BJ Robinson runs a 4.3, he's going in the top 12, bro. That's what's going to happen. Like,
where's
somebody's
that
going
Eagles
to
pick?
drool
That Eagles
over
pick's like
this
10
kid.
or something like that, right?
I don't want to talk about that.
What? Yeah. Oh, they're going to be geniuses if they take him. And then we're sitting here over here arguing about taking a guy in the and the Eagles are over here getting better and better, you know what I'm saying? So
I will say there are a couple dream players I have. Michael Mayer obviously would be my absolutely number 1 dream player. He has that has the most outside shot of being there at 26. He probably won't be. He'll probably go like, I don't know, mid 1st, somewhere in the teens, I would guess. But if he made it to 26, I couldn't turn that card in fast enough. Michael Mayer, stud tight end, would fit our scheme perfectly. He can block, he can catch. He's big. He plays the ball in the air. Like he'd be great for us. Probably won't be there. Receivers, there's a couple I like that could be there. And Jigba, that Jordan Addison from USC. I like both of them, but Rev, I do kind of agree with you that neither of them are like world beater type wide receivers. They're not going to come in there and be Andre Johnson type wide receivers or Justin Jefferson, although people didn't think he was going to be that either. So there are a few guys there, but I'm kind of with you. We need an offensive weapon. I hope it's not a running back. I hope Michael Mayer is there. That would excite the heck out of me if Michael Mayer was there. That would help Dak more than anyone else, even if he isn't the top speed guy we maybe need. But I'll leave it there. Tweet. I know we went an hour and 40 minutes. We're like 10 minutes over. We actually had a few weeks ago, our guest was like, I got to go by, and just left me and Rev to finish talking about the playoff game. So I appreciate you hanging out, man. Did you have fun back again? It's been a couple months, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's been a good time, man. It was good hanging out with you boys, talking sports. It's been good.
Heck yeah. Rev, what you got, man? Last words.
Yeah, man. I miss Tweet. Miss having you on, brother. I hope you and your family are doing well. I hope you ain't getting wore out too much. And, nothing but blessings to you, my friend. Look forward to seeing you again. And, brother, you are always welcome. Always welcome. Please, anytime you get some free time, if you want to call into the boss and, you feel a little bit, sick and
the NBA finals are this week.
Call it in and come on in and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, just enjoy it, man. We got to get back on here and talk some LeBron hate, I guess.
Hell yeah, NBA talk coming soon. Yeah. Tweet, thanks for coming, man. I know as soon as we talk, Rev texted me early in the week or midweek that the guest might not be there, and you had already told me your work schedule for this week, and I'm like, boom, Saturday, Tweet's in, we got it, and then we were worrying about Rev being here because of his internet, but I'm happy you were able to join the show, man. It's always a lot of fun. We'll get you back on here soon, man. Even if we do the foursome again.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
I just won't talk.
All right,
All right, guys. Have a great night. We will be back Tuesday for Toxic Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. See you later, everybody.